Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I have a sharp blitz game to share with you from 2015, played in St. Louis. On the white end, Nigel short, playing against Garry Kasparov. All right, on board, a Sicilian, open Sicilian. Bishop g5 signals the Richter-Rauzer variation. Let's get a few more healthy moves in. A case of opposite sides castles. With h4, intentions clear, white going after the black king. a6, king b1, h6, the bishop does not have to budge. One of the top moves here, moving the game. f4. Now, I wondered a little bit about this reinforcement of g5. Is it really necessary to secure this point with two pawns? I made a passing move rather than f4. This was my passing move I tested out. Can black successfully take the bishop here, as scary as it may look, allowing the h-file to be completely opened? You can, but you would have to be precise. This is the move order. You would first take the knight, then take the bishop, and it points out e5 is top here, giving the queen a kick, and next up, the knight gets to go to g4. Well, notice here, g5 experiences a problem. The inclusion of e5 was helpful, targeting the queen, watching over f4. There isn't a great way to support g5 with this variation. It will fall. And when it does, both bishop on g5 and knight on g4 have options to neutralize the pressure on the h-file through the h6 square. My point, it is meaningful here to have two pawns reinforcing this bishop. That way g5 will not quickly collapse. From here, we have bishop d7. Now, if we revisit this same sequence with f4 rather than my passing move a3, this would no longer be a good idea to take the bishop, because this queen, if given a kick in this position with e5, she can simply fall back to g1. And next up, we're ready for this battery. There's going to be a big problem for black. Note knight g4 here. There is bishop e2 to remove the knight so that queen h2 will be available. Black is not there in time to swipe this pawn. This is a winning position for white. All right. So, rather than capture of the knight, what we have in this game, bishop d7, bishop captures, knight follows. Another move the computer has its eye on is this retreat to open up the battery on the d file, with the point being, let's say this rook goes to a half open file. This would be a nice follow-up, e5. The point here, if black takes on e5, now we would have bishop takes knight, followed by queen captures bishop. Okay, in this game we do not have the knight retreat. It is bishop captures knight, bishop captures bishop, and from here the knight goes to f3. The computer prefers knight b3 in this position. Okay, in this one it is knight f3. Follow up now, queen a5. This here is top. Now, the key difference, backing up for a second, the key difference between these two moves, note, with the knight on b3, that does prevent queen a5. We're going to see that the queen post on a5 turns out to be very good. All right. Short's idea, I believe at least, with knight f3, one of the ideas, keep it more central, be in a spot now to support an e5 break. Also, d6 coming under some fire. The response is queen a5. Pop quiz. How would you respond here? Feel free to pause the video. Okay, were any of you tempted here by e5? targeting the bishop, trying to take advantage of the pinned pawn, the unprotected bishop. E5 is a losing move. There's a move that I believe Short missed with this line going with E5. Here's what the computer wants. A top line from here is G4, allowing the exchange on C3 going into the ending and addressing the pressure on D6 with D5. Should white take twice on this square, the G4 pawn will fall in the end. All right, let's see what was missed by Short. After E5, black is now winning from this point on. Short might as well have been playing against Stockfish from this point on. We have the capture on E5. Queen captures bishop. Another pop quiz. What is your move here? Feel free to pause the video. Okay, I believe this here is the move Short missed. We have now E4. Opens the bishop's eyes to C3. This pawn is poison. If the knight captures the pawn, the rook lacks defense. It would run into this skewer idea. So in this game, the knight moves, dives in the center. I tested out a different move. Suppose the knight goes to D2. In this case, you can swipe the knight and then target the queen who is struggling to find a safe square. Where'd he go? Queen takes pawn would now run into a pin with the B file now opened up. So we don't have the knight falling back. Goes to E5. Bishop captures knight. Pawn captures bishop. One more pop quiz. What is your move here? Feel free to pause the video. All right, there is only one winning way. The question to ask yourself here, which rook should go to D8? There's only one answer. Rook A to D8. This rook sticks around on F8 because it is secure by the king. If you go with this rook, after queen captures pawn, rook takes rook, knight takes rook, the queen is targeting two unprotected pieces, and that would be a problem. So it's the queen rook that should go to the D file. Queen captures pawn, rook captures rook. Black is just cleaning house at this point. In a winning position, look at the next move. Queen D1 doesn't get much better than that, targeting everything. Knight in a pin, unprotected, bishop in a pin. All right, the try from here is with bishop to E2, trying to defend with the king or the queen would both run into rook D8. The knight pin is going to be exploited one way or another. So the try from here is bishop E2, giving up a full rook. All right, at least white has now a moment to breathe. Can collect the knight. Queen takes knight it is. From here, rook D8, threatening a mate in 2, crashing through on D1, flight square for white. Queen is hitting everything. 2 pawns, 2 minor pieces. Queen captures pawn is played next, defending the bishop. If the bishop moves, let's say G4, points out you can collect the pawn, target the bishop. Yet again, it's queen captures pawn. Queen captures pawn check, king C1, queen D2 check, king B2, rook B8 check, bishop B5 is played here. You go into a pin. If the king moves to A3, queen B4 is mate. King A1, queen C1 would be mate. So white goes into a pin. Healthy pick here. Do you go after the knight or the bishop? Both are winning. Who cares about a first rank knight? All right, maybe around the corner for white is this idea to glue in the bishop and start rolling with the passed pawn. Let's eliminate this one. So we have queen B4 check. Simply scoop up the bishop and we just play out maybe just a few more moves out of momentum before white finally resigns here after e3. That right there is the ball game. So a very nice middle game sequence to be familiar with. I really did not see this one coming. This idea to actually give up the bishop and then scoot right by, target both knights with this last move, trying to undermine the defense of the rook there, working on the skewer idea. Anyhow, what are your thoughts with this one? Feel free as usual to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.